Hey guys, Julian here from SynthwavePro.com. Thanks for joining me. So in this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. I wanted to highlight 5 synthwave artists that I think are absolutely brilliant, and I wanted to showcase them as lately we've had a lot of new subscribers to the channel, many of whom are absolutely new to the synthwave genre. So I figured I'd put this video together to sort of showcase and highlight some of the most inspiring artists, at least who I believe to be inspiring artists right now. All right, so let's deep dive into this right away. Now, before we get started, please share the video, like the video, and if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. It greatly helps. I don't have the right to play any of their music, but I'll definitely leave the links in the description so you can give them a listen. Let's get started with our first artist. This is in no particular order. Eagle-Eyed Tiger. Now, this guy I've been following for quite some time. Really love his sound. I believe he is a guitarist, possibly even a vocalist, and I think he even doubles up on bass, electric bass. I think I hear some electric bass in many of his tracks. I want to speak about 2 tracks in particular. First one would be Magnetic. This particular track sounds very heavy, super majestic. It's actually great workout music. I get a kick out of listening to that soundtrack. I like his use of ambient textures, as well as the way he manages to completely saturate that track. It sounds like you're definitely in this other world. He has great production skills. The second track is called Is This What You Want? Now, in this track, I believe he's singing the vocals. I don't have confirmation on that. Great guitar work, fantastic lyrics, and the cool thing with the guitar work in this particular song, it reminds me a lot of the stuff I used to listen to literally back in the 80s. Things by The Cure, Robert Smith, Pearl Thompson. Many of you are familiar with that sort of, goth, new wave, as it was called way back in the day, that particular guitar sound. So if you're a fan of that sort of sound, go check that out. Is This What You Want? That's the name of the track. I'll leave the link in the description. Let's move on to our second artist here. Needs no introduction. Been a huge fan of A.L.I.S.O.N. Now, A.L.I.S.O.N has some wonderful soundtracks, many songs on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube. I want to speak about 2 tracks. First one being Golden Dust. That's taken from the Space Station 2018 release. Super melodic. Like, anytime I listen to A.L.I.S.O.N's music, he manages to transport me into this beautiful world, and I just want to stay there every single day. The second track I actually wanted to speak about would be Light Years. This one is a track taken from his Eternité release. That's from 2020, another melodic banger. I love how he's able to seamlessly create these interesting melodic phrases. So if you're struggling to create some interesting melodies, I urge you to check out A.L.I.S.O.N's music. He does it for me all the time. All right, so our third artist here would be Hotel Pools. Huge fan of Hotel Pools. Love the way he programs his drums, and definitely I'm a huge fan of his overall sound. I want to speak about 2 tracks in particular. That would be Nightshade. This is a single released in 2019. I love the drum work, I love the programming, as well as the haunting melodies. Go check that out. The link is in the description. This is the kind of track you sort of want to listen to. Maybe you're driving, it's late, it's dark. That's definitely the track you want to be rocking. It's uber laid back. The second track I want to speak about is called Mist. It's from the album simply titled Baked. That's a 2021 release. This guy puts out a lot of music, a lot of high quality music every single time. I urge you to check him out. Now, I love the introduction to the song Mist. I believe he's starting off with some samples of chirping birds. I think it's a really cool organic sound. Before we get into the meat of the track, go and check that out. I love his use of ambient vocals. Now, this is the thing that he's been doing, I guess, the last few releases. I've noticed he's successfully managing to incorporate a lot of ambient vocals in his music. He's sort of bordering on the chill wave, synthwave vibe, very nostalgic, and the way he manages to incorporate those vocals is absolutely brilliant. He's one of those artists really trying to push the genre forward, and so I can really appreciate that. It's nice to hear an artist trying to get away from the more traditional synthwave music, which is absolutely nice, but every now and then We want something that has a little more variety in it. All right, so before I forget, Hotel Pools and A.L.I.S.O.N have this wonderful collab. It's called Ultrasound. It's actually an album comprised of 11 songs. Go ahead and check them out. Give them a listen. Our fourth artist here would be Truise. Big fan of Truise. Love his overall sound, especially his drum programming. It's absolutely ridiculous how he gets these nice punchy drums. Incidentally, he does have a course, not on my platform, but over at soundfly.com. I urge you to check that out. If you do, make sure you use my discount code, shameless plug, that's SynthwavePro, all in caps. That gives you a whopping 15% off. And it also gives you access to all of the courses on their platform. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description. Let's talk about one of his songs called Glauio. Big fan of this song. I always play this. This is always on my playlist. I believe it stands for Raining in Welsh, and this is taken from his Galactic Melt 2011 release. So that's a long time ago. Great album nonetheless, absolutely timeless. The drums, the bass, the synth, everything in that production is on point. As soon as you hear that first chord, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm gone. I'm already in his world. The great thing with Truise is that his production style involves creating a narrative, and so he really wants you to get a feel for his music. He successfully manages to transport you into his world. I urge you to check out most of his music, and do check out his masterclass. He has some really cool gems in that course. I also have a review that I've done on SynthwavePro.com if you want to get an idea as to the material he's teaching on that course. Go ahead, I'll leave the link in the description. Let's keep it moving. So the fifth synthwave artist that I've been listening to for quite some time now would be Emil Rottmayer. Let's dive into his album called Deflection. This is comprised of 8 songs. It was released in 2022. 2 songs you gotta absolutely listen to. First one being Simulate. Let me tell you something. When I heard this song for the first time, I nearly shed a tear. I kid you not. It's so melodic, and the way he starts off by introducing the initial theme and then eventually develops it, absolutely blew my mind. Something so simple. He's such a strong songwriter. Go check him out, Emil Rottmayer. Let's get into the track called Simulate. I love how he layers his drums throughout that piece. That's one thing you could pay attention to if you want to get your layering techniques going. Also, lots of texture, great use of ambient white noise throughout that track, and it's super nostalgic, man. Just go click it, listen, appreciate it. The second song I urge you to check out from Emil Rottmayer would be Level. It's a very grooving, sort of kind of disco dance floor song, but it is within the synthwave realm, something you'd hear at a head candy party. I like the way he uses bass note substitution. I had recently done a tutorial on that. I urge you to check that out. I'll be sure to link that up in the card if you want to have a look. He manages to take a simple theme and develop it over the course of the entire track. So if you're looking to sort of improve your arrangement, this is the guy to go to, all right? His sound on the album called Deflection is very cohesive, and he often uses and repurposes the same samples. And this is really cool because when you hear a song of his in a playlist, you'll instantly recognize it. You say, aha, that must be Emil Rottmayer stuff. And you know, the guy is a solid producer. Another cool thing about Emil I really like is that his branding is on point when it comes to his releases, whether it's a single, an EP, or an album. There's generally some sort of cohesive element with his album cover. So as soon as you see that cover, you know it's Emil, you know? Again, super strong branding, especially when it comes to releasing stuff on Spotify, where you want to get your audience to sort of notice you. This guy has it going on. Go check him out. I have the links in the description. All right, so tell me who you have been listening to. Who are some of your favorite artists, whether they're synthwave or maybe another genre, it's all good. But you know, let me know who you've been listening to, whether it's 5 artists or 5 songs you believe I should pay attention to. Leave them in the comments down below. I'll definitely have a listen. If you like this type of content, let me know. Let me know if you want to see more of this type of stuff. You know, there's so many tracks being released on a weekly basis, and frankly, it's hard to keep track of, you know, all of these artists, and some of them just, you know, don't get the exposure that they, I think, deserve. Most of these guys are already established, but there's some guys who are just starting off, and I think their music is absolutely wonderful. Hopefully we can, you know, support them this way. Yeah, so let me know if you want to see more of this type of content, switch things up a bit. That being said, guys, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.